Hello, everybody. It's so great to see you. Hi. Just letting you know we are not live. I am recording this and we are going to do an update video on my internet speed. Actually, I have several topics we're going to talk about today. So just grab a drink and grab a snack and hang out with me for a little bit as we talk about some stuff today. And I think we're going to kind of get used to doing this format of video for a little while. So today's topics, we're going to talk about my internet speed. I'm going to show you the new quilt I'm starting. It's a memory quilt for a client of mine. I'm going to show you my cousin's quilt that I just quilted yesterday. A Lone Star update for those of you on Patreon. I was wrong about something and we'll get to that in a little bit. And I thought it would be fun to open up a fabric haul with you. I have a package that was delivered yesterday. And part of it is for the new quilt I'm getting ready to start. And part of it is some brown fabric for my stash because I hardly have any brown fabric. So first, let's talk about my internet. Y'all, okay, so let's back up a little bit. Before COVID, I hardly ever came on live on YouTube. I was getting into doing lives on Facebook. I felt more comfortable on Facebook doing lives, even though I was still kind of just really green at it and not that very good. And everything I seemed to do with the sewing machine would mess up. But it was a great starting ground, right? We have to start somewhere. But then COVID hit and everyone found themselves at home, right, for an extended amount of time. And I broke out of my comfort zone and started going live every day there for a good long stretch, live every day on YouTube. And if you watch the progression, which many of you were there, if you watch the progression of those videos, I seemed to get more and more fluent and better at it as we went along, right? And then it just transitioned to me coming live once a week, right? And now everyone has gone back to work primarily, right? And things are a lot different than they were 2 years ago. But I've still been doing the live every week and it's worked out beautifully. And our biggest concern moving to this house where we are now was the internet, right? We knew that it was a possibility that things were going to have to change. We hoped it wouldn't. But we knew that it was a possibility. And when we first got our internet hooked up, it was fabulous. And then we've had some troubles here and there. And here lately, it's just been horrible. So what I want to do is just talk about the internet for a minute, because some of you might have these same issues too. But I think it's really confusing because you see me posting pictures on Facebook. I'm able to join some Zooms, right? And you see me uploading videos here on YouTube, but I just want to show you something because it is confusing. You see me active online, internet speed. I'm going to pull up a photo real quick. This is a screenshot of a speed test that I did yesterday. So when you talk about internet, there's actually two numbers that we're going to take a look at, right? The first is the download speed. So you'll see this screenshot says my internet connection is very fast. The download speed is 414, which is really fast, right? The download speed is what you would use, that part of internet that you would use to stream Netflix or Hulu, or watch videos on YouTube, or surf the internet, or scroll through Facebook and Instagram and things like that, right? To shop on Amazon. Things like that. That is your download speed. The way you use internet, that might be all that you are using, your download speed. But for someone like me, and a lot of the times for like Harlan, when he has to video conference for work or upload photos that he has edited, for people like me who stream live on YouTube or even on Facebook, the upload speed is very, very, very important. And you'll see mine is 0.18. This also affects, like when I save the video I'm making right now and upload it to YouTube, it's going to take hours. And it has taken hours the last week and a half. Usually our upload speed has been in the 40 range, which is great, right? And it's supposed to be even higher than that. We are supposed to have and we are paying for the highest package through BreezeLine. We're supposed to have extremely high upload speed as well, but something is amiss. Something is wrong. And yesterday BreezeLine came out and he did some testing and we've had BreezeLine out before and they've been super nice. This gentleman, maybe it was an off day for him. He immediately said, we're going to put new wires in the ground. And so you'll see Miss Utilities out here. They're going to mark up your yard. We're going to dig new lines, run a new line, and it's going to take at least 3 weeks. And I was like, oh no, okay. And then BreezeLine called us back in the afternoon and said, nope, we're going to send somebody else out tomorrow, which is today. And so he's been out and he's driving through the neighborhood and he's looking at all the lines. So I don't know what they're going to do and I don't know how long it's going to take. So we're going to stay at this format for a little while, okay? But so when you see me posting and I'm active on the internet, that is why. It's the upload part as to why I'm going to start recording videos versus going live for a while. And I wish I could tell you how long that was going to be. I don't know. I don't know. So it is what it is. I'm going to just start recording the videos each week. We're still going to do the same things. And instead of being live, maybe we can change it to a premiere and I can be live in the live chat and talk with you. But most of you are watching on the replay anyway. Since things have gone back to everyone that's usually not home during the day, y'all are watching on the replay anyway. Things are so much different than 2 years ago. So that's my internet update. I'll be recording and yeah, stay tuned. I'll update you as it goes along. And maybe one day they'll get it all straight and I'll surprise you coming live here on YouTube. Okay, so y'all know I make quilts on commission, right? I'm getting ready to start a new quilt for a client with her mom's clothing. Her mom has passed away and she has all of her mom's clothing and it's taken a little while, understandably, for her to make this quilt. It's going to be super special. But she wanted a quilt that featured a cross with her mom's clothing, right? And so I worked on the design for a couple of weeks, actually, just back and forth with her, trying to make sure that the layout was something she really wanted and the size was good for her. And so I did a couple of mock-ups. And for those of you who do quilts on commission and you're looking for a software that helps you come up with quilt ideas and mock-ups for your client before you ever start cutting the clothing, right? Y'all know I design my t-shirt quilts in Inkscape. Well, in addition to that, I also design quilts in EQ8, which is a computer software that has thousands of quilt block possibilities already preloaded in it. So you might want to check it out, right? But I used EQ8 to design some mock-ups. Let me see. I'm just trying to find them. Here, I'm going to do a little slideshow, right? So her mom's favorite color was lilac. And so when we were planning the quilt, you know, it's hard to just draw something out and say, imagine this being lilac, you know, a light color or a dark color. It's really great if you can give examples. So this is what I did. I usually do one with a dark background, a light background, and then a featured color like her favorite color. So we're going to start with the black layout, and this is what I sent to my client. And this is the design that she's gone with, right? So this quilt's going to be 75 by 95. Pretty good size quilt. And of course, the colored squares you see are going to be the mom's clothing. they don't look like this. I just used patches of fabric that are already loaded into EQ8. So the design will look like this, but using her mom's clothing, right? And I did it with a black background just so she could see, get a visual, guide of what it would look like with a dark background. And then a light lilac background so she could visually see, like, this is how it's going to appear. Does the fabric, is it focused enough to show the design of the cross, with the clothing bits? And then a dark lilac, which I liked better, right? And then I like to give an example with a light, like neutral cream color background. And this is the one that she fell in love with because it was just so soft, and the neutral background would blend in no matter what the clothing swatches look like, right? So she chose a cream colored background. I have it here in the bag. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you. I might actually even bring you along as I make this quilt. We'll see. But it's simple 5-inch squares, y'all. I have a 5.5 by 5.5 inch ruler I'm going to use to cut the clothing pieces out with, and then just cut a ton of 5-inch background pieces and assemble the quilt probably in larger patches, not so much in rows, right? I think maybe patches might move it along a little bit faster. I haven't thought that far in advance, but I better start thinking about it because I'm going to actually start cutting tomorrow. So that's the quilt that I'm getting ready to start. Let me get rid of all those. Yesterday, if you follow me on Facebook, then you have seen I quilted my cousin's mystery medallion quilt. I still haven't even quilted my own mystery medallion quilt yet, but yesterday put me in the mood for it. So this weekend, I might just go ahead and load mine. I have everything for it. I might just get it loaded and quilt it. But I wanted to share that with you because I did something really exciting. I have wanted for a couple of years now to design my own digitized quilting files that read on my long arm and quilt out designs that I make. I love getting quilting designs from Urban Elements, and that's usually where I send my quilting clients to pick out a quilting design, and then I purchase it and load it in, right? But I've always wanted to design my own, so I did. I figured it out. And so yeah, I wanted to show you that. So here is Stacy's mystery medallion quilt. It's all quilted here. Don't you love the greens and the blues? With the pops of cream in there that really softens it up. That is her mystery medallion quilt. I'm so dang proud of her. I love it. She's given this quilt to her daughter. And here's a picture of her quilt showing the back fabric, which I thought was so soft looking. Isn't that pretty? But here's what I'm really, really excited about. Not that her quilt isn't exciting. It is. I am so dang excited for her. But I wanted to show you the quilting design that I did. And I'm going to use this design to quilt my own quilt. Just different thread colors, right? Her thread colors, I just blended them in. So the quilting is just texture, really. You have to look really close to see the quilting. But here you go. I'm going to show you a close-up of the quilting. See that flower and the leaf? That flower and leaf are the same exact shapes of the smallest flower in the center of this medallion. And I took the SVG file and I converted it into a stitch file for my long arm. So I thought that was really cool, right? Same flower, same leaf, made into a panto to do an edge-to-edge quilting on her quilt. I am so stoked about that. For sure. So there's Stacy's quilt. I think a lot of people get really confused when I post pictures of my quilting clients' quilts. And I think sometimes when I'm reading the comments, I think y'all think I made the quilt. But if you look close, usually I'm just featuring the quilt that I quilted for my client. I didn't make that quilt, y'all. My cousin Stacy made it. I just had the honor of quilting it for her. So that was a lot of fun. Now, for those of you on Patreon, thank y'all so much. Y'all make it absolutely possible to keep being able to make video content each week. And I just want to say thank you. We're making a Lone Star quilt over on Patreon. And if you're not on Patreon, it's never too late to join. There's a link down in the description box below, and all of the classes are recorded. So it doesn't matter if you're watching this video 5 years from now, you can still join and make the Lone Star class quilt just like it was today. All the classes are recorded and all the patterns are uploaded. And you could start right now making the Lone Star quilt. But let me show you what that quilt looks like. Isn't that gorgeous? This quilt I designed in EQ8. It was so much fun designing this quilt. And so I picked out fabrics that resonate with where we live right now. There's seashells. There's, what kind of tree is that? A ginkgo tree. There's ginkgo tree leaves in the light green fabric. There's seashells, there's sand dollars. There's the pops of red you see represent the rose bushes right outside my studio that I see. So the fabrics for my quilt were specifically picked out for my house. But y'all, everybody on Patreon is doing their own colored they've picked out their own fabrics, right? It's brilliant. If you could see some of their pictures, I think you would just fall in love. But we're having lots of fun. And right now, the last 2 weeks, we've been stitching down all of the applique. So I just finished stitching down all of my applique. I thought I would share a couple pictures of that with you. So that's what my set in triangles look like, all stitched down. I picked a black thread. I kind of really like the black thread outline, and I chose a blanket stitch. Now everybody's choosing different kinds of stitches to stitch down their applique, so each one of our quilts is slightly different and unique, and it's been a lot of fun. So here is my 4 corners. That's what one of them, well, they all look like this. This is just a picture of one of them. So I just turned on some music and had some relaxing time at the sewing machine. I'd say it took me about an hour to stitch down each one of the 4 corners and about 40 minutes to do the triangles. So I've had a lot of good quality time at the sewing machine, and it's been lovely. So let's move on to I was wrong, because you know what? I don't mind admitting when I'm wrong, and more than likely, in each and every video I make, I say something wrong. Y'all, if you watch me on a regular basis, you already know that. So last week, the video that we did was the baby turtle applique, and in that video, I think I even said it twice. I could be wrong. But I mentioned that this week's video, the giraffe, was the last one in that series, but it's not. We still have one more after that. And some of y'all were like, oh no, I'm going to have to make up my own applique block to make it a 9-patch. No, I just misspoke and I was wrong. I forgot about the baby cow. So yeah, this week we're doing the baby giraffe. I'm going to upload that video on Friday. And then next week we're doing the baby cow. Isn't that adorable? Some of you asked for the baby Highland cow. So that's what we're doing. And so that's next week, not this coming Friday, but the Friday after that. I think I'm going to upload the videos so that they come up on YouTube the same time, 12 o'clock noonish on Fridays. So that won't change. It just will be that I'm not live. It'll be recorded. Okay? So now I thought, you know what? Everyone loves a fabric haul or shopping haul, gadget haul, all kinds of shopping hauls. I sit and watch haul videos all the time, and so who wants to see all the fabrics that I got? I thought that that would be fun. I have to open them anyway, and so I thought, you know what? Let's do it as part of my update for the internet. So I'm going to bring you down here to the cutting mat. And so what I have here is from Marshall Dry Goods. If you haven't shopped with Marshall Dry Goods, you might want to check it out. I'm not affiliated with them at all. I just like shopping there. It's great deals on fabric. There's lots of name brand fabrics on there, and then they have fabrics that are sort of like their brand too, right? So I have a mixture of stuff in here. I have the quilt back for the quilt, the cross quilts, and I have the background fabric that we chose. And then I was really low on brown fabrics for my stash. And I like using brown a lot for my applique, right? So I picked out a few yards of some different browns and added them to my order. And let's just, oh, it's taped up. So let's use the scissors. I always get scared using scissors when I'm opening up bags like this. Carefully cut it, Lisa. See how close that was? Okay, let's just pull everything out, and I'm just gonna start flipping through. It's also, you know, I live about an hour away from Joann Fabrics now, so I don't hardly go that way. So I've been buying a lot of my fabrics online. The only downfall to that, well, there's two, right? Waiting for the shipment to get to you. And if they're backed up with their orders, that takes a minute, right, to get the fabric. And then it always looks one way on the computer screen versus what it looks like in person. I've been like 98% happy with the way the fabric actually looks versus what it looked like on the computer screen, right? But there's always that chance that the color's going to be slightly off. So let me just unfold all of this. Here we go. So we're going to start with the browns that I got. And I really wanted just some neutral browns that kind of go with all kinds of stuff, right? Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? It doesn't say what it is on the salvage. So foliage brown tonal. I could be wrong because look, there's several foliages. If you fall in love with any of these fabrics, I will pull up my order. Send me an email and I will pull up my order online and it shows a picture of it there and I'll tell you what fabric each one is. How about that, right? So that one, I love that. And then we have this one. I love that. And then this one. I don't know why I'm falling in love with brown. I think my color palette has changed. Like my preferred color palette used to be very bright and a lot of purple. And even though purple's still my favorite color, like the colors that I'm drawn to are just more earth tone colors here in the last several months. There's that one. Don't you love that? And then here's this one. This one, it is brown, but it's slightly more different. Don't you think? It's slightly different. And here's the last brown I got, and I actually got more of this because I kind of thought that I might like this one more than the rest of them. So I ordered more. So there's that one. And it looks, just to let you know, it looks totally different on the screen than it does in person. Actually, all of these do. But this one, most of all, on the screen, it looks grayish, sort of reddish, but in person, it is totally different. Kind of like when you're shopping online. In person, it is much more rich and more chocolate brown than what you're seeing on the screen. Yeah, I really like this one a lot. So there's the browns to go in my stash. And so now I feel like that will do me for a good little while with my browns. And then, so these are the fabrics for my client's quilt. And she wanted a light gray for the back fabric. So this is 108 fabric. And again, it looks different on the screen than it does in person. It's actually a little bit lighter in person, but it has white flowers and dark gray flowers, and the back is just sort of a wash of like a really light gray and a darkish gray, or a mid-tone gray, right? So yeah, that'll be perfect for the back of her quilt. And I like all this stuff, the print going on for the back of a quilt. I really do like that a lot. And then this is the cream color we're going to use for all of the background fabric. And I think that is lovely. So this looks like a muslin. You know how some of the muslins have the little brown dots? Have you ever noticed that? Little brown dots all in the muslin. I love it, right? And then it does have some white flowers printed on the fabric. Just want to see how thick this is. It is very much like a muslin, like a good grade muslin. And this also, I think this was a 108, and I purchased 3 yards, and I'm going to use this as the fabric for the background. I love it. I love it. It's not too bright. And it's still very soft. That was a fast fabric haul, don't you think? I think it's awesome. So I got 3 yards of this 108 for the back. I got 3 yards of 108 for the front fabric. I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yards of these browns. And then this brown was Tonal Vineyard Rest. The big piece, that one was also a 108. So I got all of this fabric and it was $99.37. I don't think I could really beat that, right? And it's a really nice fabric. I like it a lot. This one's really nice and smooth. So there we are. A little fabric haul. Again, if you fall in love with any of these, it's hard to see the true colors in person. But if you fall in love with any of them and you just have to have it, shoot me an email and I'll tell you exactly what they are. Marshall Dry Goods. So there we go. There is my video update. All of these topics, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you on Friday. Not live, it'll be recorded. We're doing the baby giraffe. I think instead of stitching down all the circles on the giraffe, I'm gonna free motion stitch them, which will speed it up. So if you're interested to see that, stay tuned right till Friday. What else? Oh, someone asked me, and I forgot to put this on the topics menu, about a mystery quilt for the fall/winter. And if I planned on doing one, and I say, let's go for it. I don't have a pattern picked out. I haven't even begun to plan for one, but let's do one. That sounds fun. And mystery quilts are sort of like 50-50 when you ask you know, if I were to poll all of you, do you want to do a mystery quilt? Half of you would say, yes, let's do it. Can we start tomorrow? And half of you would say, I don't like mystery quilts, which is totally understandable because it's sort of a commitment of time and money, right? Fabric is money. Thread is money. Time is money. So, and a lot of you don't like to commit until after the mystery quilt is revealed. And then you start, you know, making up your mind if you want to make the quilt or not. So, but yeah, I love a mystery. So in my spare time, I'll start putting together something that we can do. I do have a mystery quilt all planned out, but it's paper piecing. Now, so when I say, if I take a poll, half of you are going to say, yes, let's do a mystery quilt, and half are going to say no. The half that say yes, if I say it's paper piecing, I'm going to cut that half in half because some of you love paper piecing and some of you don't. So I would really be narrowing it down to about 25% of the people who watch my videos would make that mystery quilt with us. So I don't think I'm going to use that mystery quilt design. I think maybe we'll make a series out of it. It is gorgeous, but it's all paper piecing. And so I'm just holding on to that pattern. It's gorgeous. It really is. I'm not going to show it to you because who knows, but we're not going to go with that one. I'll design something new for this fall winter. Can we just say winter? I think it's safer to say winter. Okay, everybody, I think this video is going to take about 5 hours to upload to our internet today. I look forward to making the baby giraffe. So I'll see you, or you'll see me on Friday. All right, everybody, have a fantastic rest of your week. Bye.